Hey everyone, welcome to part 1 of the two-part video series on karma. Before we discuss karma, I would like to mention that we're a small channel just starting off on YouTube. Really appreciate a subscription to the channel and please help share with your friends and family to help us grow. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to us. Okay, so let's discuss karma now. Karma is a term you have probably heard of earlier but don't quite understand what it really is. It is an important concept in Hindu and Buddhist philosophies and one of the core topics to understand for spiritual growth and the study of Vedanta. We all feel life is full of suffering. What if I told you the suffering we experience in our life is by our own choice? We choose to be born at the exact moment we are born at, so we can experience the things we are destined to experience in this lifetime. I'm sure you would react. Choose to be born at? What do you mean? I would be out of my mind to choose such a life full of suffering. But it is true. I know you probably don't believe me now, but stay on. Hopefully by the end of part 2 of this video series, you'll be able to understand why and the role karma plays in the whole thing. Before we get into karma, let's discuss reincarnation briefly, as it is very closely associated with karma. Reincarnation is a core belief in Hindu and Buddhist philosophies. It is believed that we go through cycles of birth and death, which continues on till we become one with the universe, or shunya as described in Buddhism. When one reaches this state, we say that he or she has attained nirvana. And once nirvana is attained, the cycle of birth and death is broken and the person is free of rebirth. Karma is an important concept and has a deep role to play in the reincarnation process. It is important to understand it well to understand why we have the experiences that we have in our lifetime. A simple way to understand karma is to reflect on Newton's law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. You know that when you throw a ball on the wall, the speed at which it comes back to you depends on the force with which you throw it on the wall. If you throw the ball lightly, it will hit you lightly when it comes back to you. If you throw it hard, it will hit you hard when it comes back to you. So how hard the ball hits you really depends on you. How hard did you throw it? You can think of karma in the exact same terms. Karma are the actions you do. It is your act of throwing the ball. The reactions are the consequences you face. It is how the ball will hit you when it comes back to you. If your actions are bad, their consequences will also be bad. The only difference between the ball example and karma is that the action of throwing the ball gets you an immediate reaction of the ball bouncing back and hitting you. For karma, the reaction is not instant. Instead, every action you take goes into your pool of karma, and every time you take birth, a bunch of karma is shortlisted for you to experience in that lifetime. The shortlisted karma for this lifetime could be from an immediate previous lifetime or from 100 lifetimes before. As you advance spiritually, the duration of this cycle reduces. So for advanced souls, they experience the reactions or consequences of their karma much sooner. Your good actions earn you good karma and your bad actions get you bad karma. Your good karma from previous lifetimes might manifest as a happy thing in this lifetime, such as a good job, wealth, a loving spouse, etc. Or it might help soften the blows that your bad karma brings. Your bad karma will manifest as difficulties or suffering in this life. Now you might ask, all of that is fine, I understand the concept. But why so much pain and suffering for me? I must have done a lot of bad karma in my previous lifetimes, so I'm mostly experiencing bad karma in this life. Don't I have any good karma? That is not true at all. It is always a combination of good and bad karma that we experience. The good karma is comfortable, so we kind of take it for granted. It's like sitting on a comfortable chair like a lazy boy. We don't realize the passage of time in that state. That is why we don't recognize what our good karma brings us. Bad karma, on the other hand, brings pain. The pain is more difficult to handle. It is like sitting on an uncomfortable little stool. It is not enjoyable and we want to get off as soon as possible. So let's study an example to understand this better. Let's say there is a guy called Jack. Jack played the stock market and made a lot of money. He lived in style. He had a nice big house, a fancy car, and of course he invested more in the stock market so he could make more money. One day the stock market crashed and he lost all his money. He also lost his job at the same time. So suddenly he went from being rich to being penniless. A few days later, he got a letter in the mail that said that he had a small inheritance from a distant uncle. Jack was not happy. The inheritance amount was small. Though it would help him pay his bills, it was not enough to support his lavish lifestyle. He lamented his bad luck. Now, let's look at it from a karma perspective. Jack's good karma from a previous lifetime got him the wealth, the house, the car, etc. Jack's bad karma from a previous lifetime brought him job loss and the complete loss of wealth. Again, some good karma from a previous lifetime brought him money in the form of a small inheritance from a distant uncle that will help him stay afloat during this difficult period. Jack is not able to appreciate the good karma because he is focusing on the pain that his bad karma brought him. So what his good karma did to soften the blow caused by the bad karma went unnoticed. It is human nature to do that. But remember, difficulties and suffering come in our life to help us grow, develop inner strength, and become more resilient. It is for our own spiritual growth, and our karma plays a very important role in that. That's it for part 1 of this series. We've barely scratched the surface of the concept of karma. The Indian scripture, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, has one full chapter dedicated to it. It is a very deep concept that requires a lot of self-reflection to understand fully. In part 2 of this series, we will talk about different types of karma. If you like this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe to the channel for getting notified when there is new content. Thanks for watching.